Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds. How now, brown cow? Hello, I'm Aiden, and welcome to this episode of the Chatting in Studio Raphael. And today I'm going to be talking about an idea that's fairly near and dear to my heart, and that is the idea of what makes a good piece of art. You see, this is an idea that I have, or at least a concept that I've really dived deep on for a very long time, because there's so much out there. There's so much out there to explore, there's so much that's been created, and there's so much that's been done, but how much of that can we truly define as art? And that's really what I want to get into today. So, there's a few things that I find are really important when it comes to a piece of art. First and foremost, that's making sure that whatever has been created, there's something that is reflected from the individual that created it within that piece of art. Like, anybody to me can go and draw what they see. Anybody can do something that is lifelike, and I mean, of course it takes practice, don't get me wrong, but anybody can step into a space and do a life drawing and just do it, right? But what turns it into art is a person's ability to, at this point I'd assume, be well practiced enough to take their influences and interpret whatever it is that they are seeing through their emotions and through their own way of wanting to see the final product. The main element of art, I find, is when we release the expectations of others on what we are trying to create, and we simply create it for ourselves because that is what our life stream wants to see as a final product. I think that kind of sums it up for the most part. Like, art is something that there's so much stuff out there. There's so many things that people will make, and then they're going to tie a market value onto it, and they're going to say, this painting of a duck is worth $25,000 and I'm not taking any less for it. And then you have like one person who goes like,
oh wow, this is an incredible piece of art and I will definitely pay $25,000 for it.
And they say, see, I told you it's art. And then after that, they go off and they just charge like $30,000, $40,000 on the next painting. It's like, this is my big toe, $50,000. The actual big toe. No, I'm kidding. The point being, there's no scale or scope for what is really art a lot of the time anymore. You look at a sculpture, you look at something and you're like, okay, is this art? What is this that makes it art? That's why for me, art has to come from the individual's perspective of what they are trying to see in the world, what they are trying to create, how they want to express themselves, how you want to express yourself. That is the art. Anybody and everyone can be and is creative, but art is another thing, because art is expressive. Art connects. Art, you tend to find being created in a state of flow. And that's not to say that flow only creates art, but usually when we're in flow, we're in a space where we are within ourselves and we are existing for our own existence. So let's say you're out running and playing, and my belief is that art is just the reflection of life. So if you're out running and playing and you're having a great time and you're having a laugh and you're with friends and you're just enjoying yourself, I'm assuming in that moment you're probably not thinking about anything else except for the fact that you are having a fun time. I would call that art, but in the form of life. You know, though, when you're sitting around and you're overthinking and everything sucks and it's just, well, everything doesn't suck, but you're sitting around thinking and everything feels like it sucks and life is just, it just feels like everything is so hard. And everything is down on you and time is just going so slow, you know? When we take another perspective of it, we can turn a moment like that into art. I would say in some ways it is art because it is your life just in its own uniqueness. But that's a moment that it's hard to create expression from. Although if you are able to turn it into expression and find flow in expression in music and therapy and art and whatever it is that you do, that you can take that emotion of darkness and sadness and then turn it into what you want to see in the world. Turn it into beauty. Turn darkness into beauty. Turn darkness into light. That is where the expression of art comes from. It's that flow, it's that being, it's that sense of oneness with yourself, where whatever you're creating is what you desire to create. And that's not to say that if you show it to people and they're like, ooh, maybe you should try it like this, that you should be like, no, this is my art, get out of here. Like, I mean, if that's how you see it, okay. But, you know, art as an expression is a beautiful way to connect. And I think we should be open as individuals to other people's perceptions of it and other people's ideas. Because if our ideas in our art are inspiring others to have ideas as well, then at the very least we should be able to listen. It doesn't mean that we have to go back and change anything. This is kind of a tangent to the original conversation and discussion, but my point is mainly that art, make art, do art. Create, get creative, have fun, get into flow, be in yourself, create for yourself, do for yourself, live for yourself, express for yourself, because you're always doing that. From the moment you wake up in the morning, you are expressing for yourself, even though it can feel like maybe you have no control over it. Even though when you wake up and you go to a job for another company that isn't something that you want to be doing, so to speak, you're still doing it for you. But you're just maybe feeling like you don't want to be doing it. So learn that art is life, that life is art. Learn that living in flow in existence turns your life into a living art piece that is unique in its expression, and nobody else says and does the things that you desire to do in your unique approach to living. So be you, be creative in your ways, be unique in who you are. Show people that being you is special and that being you in your uniqueness is valuable. And show others that being them in their uniqueness is also valuable, and that by bringing our uniqueness together, that is how we discover more of what we are really trying to accomplish here as people in developing a society and a life that works. Art. Creativity, enhance creativity, be artistic, learn what your expression is, learn how to shut out all the other voices, get into your flow, be in your flow state, be who you are, and live the best life that you can. So yeah, if you have any other ideas about what you think art is, what you think expression is, how you take in art, how you experience art, whatever it is that excites you in the artistic and creative area, please just share, get engaged, comment. If you like what I'm talking about here, subscribe, ask questions. That's how I know what you guys want to hear more about. And let's just keep diving into art and creativity and enhancing our creative abilities. And let's just see where life goes from there. So thanks for tuning in. This is Aiden of Studio Raphael. And yeah, welcome to the studio, and hopefully I'll catch you around sometime. Take care. Also, I wore a hat today because my hair looked kind of funny. So that's why I'm wearing the hat.